The American West is no stranger to wildfires. These fires have been a part of the region's history for as long as anyone can remember. For millennia, these blazes have been a natural part of the ecosystem, shaping landscapes and influencing the life cycles of plants and animals. They clear out old growth, making way for new life, and some species even rely on fire to reproduce. Yet, in recent years, a disturbing trend has emerged. The fires we see today are not like those of the past. Wildfires are becoming larger, more frequent, and increasingly destructive. The intensity and scale of these fires are unprecedented. From the towering pines of California to the sagebrush-covered hills of Oregon, vast swaths of land have been reduced to ash. The once lush and vibrant landscapes are now charred and lifeless. These fires are not mere environmental disasters, they are societal upheavals. The impact on human life is profound and far-reaching. Homes are lost, communities are displaced, and lives are irrevocably altered. The emotional and psychological toll on those affected is immense. The smoke-filled skies and the constant fear of evacuation have become a grim reality for millions of Americans. The air quality deteriorates, posing health risks to both the young and the elderly. The year 2023, for instance, saw unprecedented fire activity across the West. The scale and frequency of these fires were unlike anything seen before. The bootleg fire in Oregon alone scorched over 400,000 acres, an area larger than the entire city of Los Angeles. The devastation was immense and widespread. The question arises, what is fueling this inferno? Why are these fires becoming so uncontrollable? While natural factors like lightning strikes and dry conditions have always played a role, there's a growing consensus that human activities are exacerbating the situation. Our actions are making these fires more frequent and more intense. Climate change, fueled by our reliance on fossil fuels, is creating hotter, drier conditions that are a tinderbox waiting to ignite. The rising temperatures and prolonged droughts are perfect conditions for wildfires to thrive. This essay will delve into the causes and consequences of America's wildfire crisis, examining the interplay of natural and human factors. We will look at how our changing climate and land use practices are contributing to this growing problem. We will explore the devastating impacts on communities, the environment, and the economy. The cost of these fires is not just measured in dollars, but in the loss of life, property, and natural habitats. Finally, we will look at what we can do to mitigate the risks and build a more fire-resilient future. Through better land management, community preparedness, and addressing climate change, we can hope to reduce the impact of these devastating fires. Wildfires are a complex phenomenon with a confluence of contributing factors. They are not just random events but are influenced by a variety of elements that interact in intricate ways. To understand the recent surge in wildfires, we need to untangle the intricate web of natural causes and human influences. This understanding is crucial for developing effective strategies to mitigate their impact. It's crucial to remember that fire is a natural part of many ecosystems, particularly in the western United States. These fires play a vital role in maintaining the health and diversity of these environments. Historically, lightning strikes were the primary natural ignition source. These natural fires would clear out underbrush and promote new growth, maintaining a balance in the ecosystem. These strikes, often occurring during dry thunderstorms with minimal rainfall, could ignite dry vegetation, sparking wildfires. The lack of moisture in these storms means that the vegetation is more likely to catch fire and spread rapidly. Furthermore, prolonged periods of drought, a recurring feature in the West's climate, create an abundance of dry fuel, making forests highly susceptible to ignition. Drought conditions dry out vegetation, turning it into tinder that can easily catch fire. However, the human fingerprint on the wildfire crisis is undeniable. Human activities have significantly altered the natural fire regimes, leading to more frequent and intense wildfires. The most significant human influence is climate change. The increase in greenhouse gases from burning fossil fuels has led to global warming, which in turn affects weather patterns and increases the likelihood of wildfires. Our reliance on fossil fuels has led to a steady increase in global temperatures, resulting in hotter and drier conditions, particularly in already arid regions. These conditions are perfect for wildfires to ignite and spread. Warmer temperatures also exacerbate drought conditions, creating a vicious cycle of increased wildfire risk. As temperatures rise, moisture evaporates more quickly, leaving vegetation dry and highly flammable. Beyond climate change, land management practices often driven by fire suppression policies have unintentionally contributed to the problem. These policies, while aimed at protecting property and lives, have led to an unnatural accumulation of flammable materials in forests. While well-intentioned, decades of suppressing naturally occurring fires have led to a buildup of flammable vegetation in forests. This buildup creates a dense underbrush that can fuel larger, more destructive fires. This fuel load makes forests more susceptible to large, intense wildfires. When a fire does ignite, it has more material to burn, leading to more severe and harder to control fires. Furthermore, human carelessness, such as unattended campfires, discarded cigarettes, and even arson, is responsible for a significant number of wildfire ignitions. These actions can easily start fires that quickly spread out of control. These human-caused fires often occur in close proximity to communities, increasing the risk to lives and property. The proximity to human settlements means that these fires can have devastating consequences, not just for the environment, but for people as well. The escalating wildfire crisis in the United States is starkly illustrated by the alarming statistics on wildfire size, duration, and frequency. These numbers are not just figures on a page, they represent a growing threat to our environment, communities, and way of life. These numbers paint a grim picture of a problem that is spiraling out of control. The devastation left behind by these fires is a stark reminder of the urgent need for effective wildfire management and prevention strategies. The average wildfire size has increased dramatically in recent decades. This trend is alarming and indicates that wildfires are becoming more intense and harder to control. In the 1970s, the average wildfire burned a few thousand acres. These fires, while significant, were much smaller in scale compared to what we are witnessing today. Today, it's not uncommon for wildfires to consume hundreds of thousands of acres, with some megafires exceeding 1 million acres. The sheer scale of these fires is unprecedented and poses a significant challenge to firefighting efforts. For instance, the 2020 August complex fire in California, the largest wildfire in the state's recorded history, burned over 1 million acres, an area larger than the state of Rhode Island. This fire alone highlights the extreme nature of the current wildfire crisis. The duration of wildfires has also increased, with some fires burning for months on end. This prolonged burning period exacerbates the damage and makes recovery efforts even more challenging. This is partly due to the increased fuel loads in forests, but also a result of hotter, drier conditions that make it more difficult to suppress fires once they start. Climate change is playing a significant role in creating these more extreme conditions. Furthermore, the frequency of wildfires has reached unprecedented levels. We are seeing more fires, more often, and in more places than ever before. In the past, fire seasons were limited to a few months during the summer. These seasons were predictable and allowed for better preparation and response. Today, fire season is a year-round reality in many parts of the West. This constant threat requires a new approach to wildfire management and preparedness. According to the National Interagency Fire Center, the number of wildfires exceeding 10,000 acres has doubled since the 1970s. This increase underscores the growing severity of the wildfire problem. These statistics underscore the severity of the wildfire crisis and the urgent need for action. Addressing this issue requires a comprehensive approach that includes better forest management, climate action, and community preparedness. While the environmental devastation caused by wildfires is undeniable, it is the human cost that is perhaps the most heartbreaking. Wildfires leave behind more than just scarred landscapes. They shatter lives, displace communities, and leave lasting emotional scars. The immediate impact of a wildfire is the loss of homes and property. In recent years, tens of thousands of homes have been reduced to ashes, leaving families homeless and grappling with the overwhelming task of rebuilding their lives. The displacement of entire communities is another devastating consequence. When wildfires force evacuations, families are uprooted from their homes, often with little more than the clothes on their backs. The emotional toll of wildfires is immeasurable. The fear, anxiety, and uncertainty of living under the constant threat of fire can have long-lasting effects on mental health. Many wildfire survivors experience post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, and survivor's guilt. The fire took more than just our home, it took our sense of security, says Sarah, a survivor of the 2021 Caldor fire in California, who lost her home and all her possessions. The fear of fire is always there now, lurking in the back of my mind. The human cost of wildfires extends beyond the immediate aftermath. The loss of livelihoods, the disruption of education, and the strain on healthcare systems all contribute to the long-term suffering caused by these disasters.